Currently, I've been reading this book about designing your life. I want to design my life to make sure that I'm chasing the correct thing in my life so that I won't have regret later on in my life. The analogy of it is to make sure that I put the ladder on the wall that I want to climb in the first place. I don't want to put it on certain wall that people think it's good. People think that's the way of our life works, and I listen to them and I climb them to know at the end of that destination, which is not the place that I want to be in. So that's something that I'm truly want to be careful to not making this mistake. So what are these 5 mindset that I need to have? This book that I've been reading, I've only achieved 10% of it. So this is few things that I've picked up along the way. And I want to create content building things that I've learned from this book so that I can look back and learn few nuggets that gonna help me in my life. The first one is curiosity. We need to have curiosity, because if we don't have curiosity, we simply didn't care about the things that we want to learn. Our brain is really good in be curious, and that is actually one way to learn something new or something that you want to learn. For example, you see the kid at their age, they've learned such a rapid pace because they are curious. They keep asking questions. Why is that happen? And they don't have a lot of knowledge yet. They don't have emotional intelligence to to not asking too many why questions, because sometimes it's when you ask people a lot of why question, they seems to be defensive. It's like you want to probe too deep into people opinion, but it doesn't happen when you're a kid. When you're a kid, you keep asking this question because you want to learn. So that's the point. We want to be curious, so that because this is the way to learn, and simply when you do this, you'll be amazed how many things you manage to understand by simply being curious. The second one is bias to action. If you look at every self-help content out there, whether it's a book, it's a courses, it all comes down to one point, one action, which is bias to action. To take action, because if you don't take action, you cannot improve in your life. Because when you take action, you can experiment, you can create something. So all of this mindset, it's about creating prototype. To become the designer of your life is to build things, create a prototype where you test it. Is it working, or is it required tuning out that you have to do, redesign it again? So prototype is a must. So that is the mindset of creating this prototype. And also by taking action in building this, always when you learn something new, you want to using it, because if you don't lose it, if you didn't use it, you lose it. And it's such a waste, because you've already spent a lot of time learning something new but you didn't use it. It's a waste, truly a waste, and your retention has become worsened as you did not take any action. I heard this quote, something along the line, knowledge is potential power. So when you use it, it becomes power. If you didn't use it, then it is nothing. It's only potential. Next is second thing is bias for action. The third one is reframing. After you taking action, you will fail. You will fail a lot. And if you have a limited mindset, if you don't have growth mindset, you will think that as something that it's excuse for you to giving up. we don't want to do that. It's because because we need to be persistent in chasing our goals. If you cannot get back up and try it again, then you will fail. So that's why this reframing. So everything that happens to you, you have to reframe it. Even if it's something bad happen, you can think about to think of this. You need to ask yourself a question. So that question is, what can I learn from this? These things happen, and there's nothing I can do about it. Do I want to keep blaming people, complaining, giving other people power, or I want to make it my responsibility to learn from it and move forward and recreating this prototype to build something that is gonna work for you. That's the third one. The fourth one is to have awareness. Why is important? Because everything that you want to be practicing, you need to be aware. It must coming from deliberate practice. You need to be aware of what you're doing, and during your reflection, you want to improve what things that you want to improve, and also to be grateful of the things that went well, that you want to keep doing all those things. And all these things is you need to be aware. For example, this when I'm speaking to camera, I am very aware of how the words getting coming out of my mouth. I make sure that my talk isn't too far ahead with my mouth. I want to make sure that it's connected. And also I am paying attention to the filler words. Also trying to use the words that is much more powerful, that can create such a clear message. Because what I want to do is I want to communicate with clarity. I want to, whenever I speak, I want to make it as challenge to achieve higher clarity, to remove all the noise that is not gonna help in communication, and 100% people will appreciate it. And the fifth one is radical collaboration. Why it's important? Because there is limited things that you can achieve when you work on it alone. But when you do it with other people, you can learn a lot from each other, and that's how you improve at such a rapid rate. Radical collaboration is very powerful. I've been in a team in my project. For example, when I'm alone, I cannot do a lot of output, but when we communicate with each other, I can understand how to tackle things, how to work on things. But it all must come from this kickoff, this setting up, to collab first, to come up with something that's truly remarkable. And that's all the 5 things that the important mindsets to design your life. And this is what I've been currently reading. This is the early stage. So I want to repeat all these five mindsets to design your life. The first one is be curious. Have a curiosity in things that you want to learn. Always asking questions. The second one is bias to action. Remember to use the things that you've learned into practice to see whether it's working for you or not. It's about prototyping, creating prototype whether it's working for you. The third one is to reframing. This is especially when you fail, you want to reframe it to ask yourself a question: what can I learn from this? And the fourth one is to have awareness. As you do a deliberate practice, be aware of things that you are doing. Make sure that the things that you want to do is your conscious mind, and you have to kick yourself out of the subconscious if you want to truly improve yourself. The fifth one is radical collaboration. Find a community of friends or team that is working on the same goal as you. Sit with them and brainstorming a way to improve, to build such a great prototype of yourself. The perfect, the best prototype as you can build through all this effort that you've made by using all these mindsets.